guys, so this week I wanted to talk about growing your hair long and having nice long hair. You guys don't see my hair much in my videos, but it's definitely long. 4 years ago I cut my hair when I graduated high school because I wanted to be all cool and mature, and I cut it up to my chin, and then that was in June, and then this September I went and got a haircut, and it was awful, and I was so depressed, and I haven't gotten a haircut since. I do cut my bangs. I haven't cut my bangs in a while, which is why they're always up. In fact, I don't think I've cut them since November. Not good. Anyway, so this video is just going to be tips on growing your hair, because when I cut my hair short, although it looks good and I liked it, I definitely wanted long hair again, and I wanted it fast. Sad news, it's not gonna come fast. So tip number one is take care of your hair. So this hair, as long as it is, just means that it's 4 years old. So I've had this hair for a long time. So for that, you need to take care of it. So this means not shampooing your hair every day. That's mostly due to the sulfates, because it can weaken the hair and make it break. So you could definitely switch to a sulfate-free shampoo, but I still would only wash your hair once every 2 days. If you get a chance, an actual great thing to do, it's kind of grimy, but if you have three or four days where no one's seeing you and you're okay with just not shampooing your hair, it's really good for it. So yeah, go and do that if you're lazy like me, sometimes, rarely. When you are drying your hair, do not use a towel and rough up your hair. Make sure you just use the towel and you gently squeeze the water out, just because when you rub it, it causes friction and can cause breakage. So another thing I do to take care of my hair is I use a hair treatment, a hair mask at least once a week to try and keep it strong, keep the proteins going. The thing you have to think about with your hair is once your hair is out of your head, it is dead. There's nothing you can really do to repair it or fix it. Anything, any repairing that you do is actually only temporary. So it is important to try and keep it from breaking as much as you can, so masks really help with this. If you don't want to go out and buy a mask, which you don't have to, I use Eversleek sulfate-free L'Oreal smoothing system deep conditioner. I leave it in my hair for 2 minutes. Olive oil is really an amazing mask to put in your hair. So you just soak your hair in olive oil. It smells disgusting. You tie it up, then I like to put it in a plastic bag to keep it moist, and so it warm and it soaks in better. And then leave it in for 30 to 40 minutes, and then go take a shower and rinse it out. The only thing I did notice the difference with this. The only thing I didn't like about it was my hair smelled fishy, and it was really gross. So I haven't done that since, but my hair actually was so shiny, so strong, and I saw the benefits right away. But yeah, the smell really turned me off, but definitely try it. Unfortunately, another sad part about growing your hair long, and if you want it to stay strong, heat damage. You have to try and avoid heat. So I always let my hair air dry, and if I do use a hair dryer, which is very rarely, I always put on a heat protectant. I also rarely curl or straighten my hair. I also don't dye it that often. I've dyed it twice since, and I use a great hair dye to use that's kind of permanent but temporary is Garnier. I have dyed my hair black with Garnier at least 3 or 4 times, and the ends are black from Garnier, and it lasts for 4 or 6 months, and then it naturally fades out. Especially if you're a brunette, it naturally fades out and it just blends with your hair, so you don't have that line, which is perfect. Which was another reason why I cut my hair, because I went from Garnier to another hair dye, and it was like permanent, and I wanted to get rid of that, so I chopped off all my hair. A way to take care of your hair and to promote hair growth. Some people use like vitamin E on their actual scalp. That works, but I don't really feel it works as much as internal. So taking vitamins, so a really good vitamin to take for longer, stronger hair is biotin. So this is biotin. This is 2000 mcg. No, 5000 mcg. I would suggest going for 2000 mcg because sometimes if it's too much it can break you out, but I think it evens out if you drink a lot of water. Unfortunately, I don't always drink a lot of water, so it was a difficult thing to keep up, but it actually really worked. Within a few weeks of taking one a day, and you don't have to take it with a meal, so it's perfect. One a day, my eyelashes were going up to my eyebrows. The only bad thing, other than the acne kind of flare-ups that I found with this, was hair grows everywhere. And I'm not going to elaborate on that, but all of your hair grows faster and it's nicer, but it's just everywhere. So yeah, beware. So if you're wondering what is biotin, biotin is actually vitamin B12. It's also found in fish and I think peanuts and other legumes. So look it up. If you're not comfortable with taking a vitamin, I don't know why, but if you're more into like ingesting it naturally, look up vitamin B12. Another option with vitamins, if you go to GNC or a Health and Wellness, ask them for an HSN multivitamin, which is hair, skin, and nails. And these vitamins have, it's a multivitamin that has all of the vitamins needed for healthy skin, nails, and hair. I've been taking one for a while and I did notice a little bit of an improvement. Not like a huge one. I mean, my diet is very bad. Not everyone needs multivitamins, but my diet is very bad, so I do need a multivitamin. But you do need to take it with a meal. The only problem with multivitamins that I find is you do need to take them with a meal, and I do not eat consistently, and you have to have it 2 to 3 times a day, and that's just so intense, and it doesn't work out. And the thing is some of the vitamins that you need, like vitamin E, which is a really great vitamin for your skin and your nails and your hair, for everything, it's fat soluble, so unfortunately if you don't eat it with a meal, it just goes away. Another tip, if you are trying to grow out your hair, and it concentrates on taking care of the hair that you got. Be careful when you're swimming in salt pools or chlorine pools, because that can weaken and damage the hair, as well as sun. Direct exposure to sunlight can bleach your hair, but it can also weaken your hair and weaken the proteins in your hair. So make sure to try and stay out of the sun, I guess, or try and wear a heat protectant even when you're going outside, and it'll stop your hair from frying. So just another extra tip, as I mentioned before, when your hair grows out of your head, it is dead, and there's no way to like really fix it. One of the things everyone recommends is getting a trim every 2 or 3 months. And my friend was doing that, and then she was getting upset because she wasn't really seeing the length. That's because cutting your dead ends doesn't make your hair longer. The only thing that it does is split ends do go up the hair, and they make the hair seem shorter, because then they break off and like you lose hair and it looks damaged and gross. So that's it. So I would strongly recommend, if you're taking really good care of your hair, like you're doing the masks, you're using as little heat as possible, and when you are, you're using a thermal protectant. I just use whatever is on sale. I don't really care. And you are taking care of your hair, then maybe once every 6 months. That's how I feel. Another thing you should avoid if you are trying to grow out your hair is tying it in the exact same place every day. So I'm talking about like the ponytail. If you have it in the same place every day, the elastics will eventually weaken the hair. And cause it to break. So I strongly recommend using hair ties that are ouchless. I've talked to a hairdresser and he said to use scrunchies as much as possible. I absolutely hate scrunchies, so that wouldn't happen, but having your hair down or tying it up in different ways is a great way to prevent that. Also very important to remember that your hair is weakest when it's wet, so be very, very careful when you're combing out your hair when it is wet. Use a wide paddle brush to brush your hair just to prevent breakage. Well, with the problem with wet hair is since it's so prone to damage when it's wet, do not go to bed with your hair wet. What I like to do is put it in a braid, and that kind of prevents the friction and the odds of breakage. But if you do sleep on your hair, you do risk breaking the ends. Another way to take care of your hair is when you are brushing it, make sure you start from the bottom and then go to the top. Don't just pull through and pull knots, because then you're going to break the ends of your hair. Start gently at the bottom and then move your way up. So that is everything. I hope you learned something, and I hope you didn't get too sad that there isn't really like a miracle. Like, trust me, I've tried everything. But yeah, my hair is long now, and I always think I'm going to cut it, but I never will. Okay, so that's everything. I will see you next week. Make sure to like and subscribe if you think I'm pretty cool. That's everything. I will see you next week. Bye!